Hello everyone. Today we'll be talking about our creative project called One. First off, we'll be explaining to you what our project was about. Our idea for this creative project predicts a future in which medicine and artificial intelligence combine, looking at the topics of transhumanism and current medical studies that are being done called organ on a chip. Our creative project represents these things combining in the future, a future in which the evolution of AI is used for medical testing. A good comparison is the current medical studies being done on animals. We are predicting that AI will replace animal testing as it will give a closer physiological makeup to humans and give a more accurate test. The project is looking at and showing rapid advancements in technology that at one point in time could be a very real thing. It also tackles the issues of the morals and ethics of medical testing on something with artificial intelligence. This in turn predicts that AI will be programmed with consciousness. From this, various questions arise. Some are, will it be able to be self-aware and process information? Is it considered okay to subject it to tests for the betterment of humanity?
The person on the poster represents the AI of the future, a robot that looks so human and is programmed to have consciousness and cognitive thought, meaning they are awake and able to process information. The heart that the robot is holding represents where medicine is going. There are current trials of organ on a chip, which is a plastic micro device the size of a USB stick, with microchannel and small chambers that are filled with liquid. These devices contain a bunch of different human cell types which are maintained in a technologically controlled microenvironment that artificially mimics aspects of the human body like morphology, movement, flow, electrical stimuli, and liquid gradients. This results in a device that emulates human organ functions and can be used to study biomedical phenomena.
Our prediction is that organ-on-a-chip technology is going to fuse with AI, allowing us to recreate our own individual physiological makeup onto or within the AI, meaning we could run medical tests on them, testing for diseases or other potential health risks, or even make new organs inside them that we can harvest and transplant into ourselves as they share the same genetic makeup as we do. This does, however, raise a moral and ethical question about testing on AI, which in our prediction will have consciousness. This is what the people in the background of the poster represent, the perceived division of this question. The people on the first poster are okay with and for the testing on AI, and on the second poster are against it. Even though we are predicting this future, both artificial intelligence and organs on a chip are a very real thing. So it's not too crazy to think that our future will contain both these things combined in such a way as we described.
I will be reflecting on the research side of the project, talking about some of the concepts and challenges I encountered and explored. Because the topic of artificial intelligence is so relevant right now and will continue to be in the future, we knew there would be plenty of information out there, and there was. There was hours upon hours of research to go through, and it was a challenge to sort through all of the research and theories, plus trying to piece together a prediction of our own. Because of how interesting the topic is, we knew doing research for the project would be fun and interesting. The thing we didn't anticipate was how submersed into the information we would get. It was difficult to sort through all the information to find the relevant parts to our project. And it was scientific research we were using, so there was plenty of heavy usage of terminology, which meant we had to spend even more time defining what some of those words and phrases meant. However, we didn't just use scientific research, we also looked at media and movies, like the TV show Black Mirror and the movie Her, pieces of media that depict what AI could be like in the future. This was interesting to use as more of a visual reference to see how our depiction compared to theirs. While theirs had different looks at what AI could be used for in the future, it gave us a good platform to work from and it helped us base our prediction on what AI could be. So we also did quite extensive research on current medical trials called organ on a chip. This was another big topic of our creative project. For this topic, we concentrated on 3 points. Those 3 points were firstly looking at the background of organ on a chip technology, mainly looking at Donald E. Ingber, MD, PhD, the man who originally designed the chip. Secondly, we looked at how it worked. This looks at how the device contains a bunch of different human cell types which are maintained in a technologically controlled microenvironment. This artificially mimics aspects of the human body like morphology, movement, flow, electric stimuli, and liquid gradients. This results in a device that emulates human organ function. Finally, learning about the benefits of the device. Some of the benefits to organ on a chip are that the chip provides a perfect microenvironment to replicate human-specific pathophysiologies and enable molecular and cellular scale analysis. This helps diagnose and target problems with organs on different levels outside the normal biological context. Ultimately, I think we did a little too much research. This was due to the vast amount of research available on AI. This made us a little lost and diverted from the main purpose of the project. And unfortunately, it was not until the research was completed that we realized we had gone through and away from the main point of research. At first, we had compiled 8 pages of research and notes that had been subtracted to 1. So, for next time, to avoid this problem, I would not do as much research before starting on the design of the project. I would do enough research to get started on the idea, making sure to continuously refer to the main point of research. By doing this, it should keep me on track.
As I was in charge of the poster logo design, my concept was to firstly develop a visualization of the chip in our human on a chip concept. The more I delve into this concept, I had started to visualize a lot of different ideas. Originally, I looked at the idea of a holographic displays or holograms, like the Halo games with the character Cortana. From this, I had thought of the idea of using a USB as the potential logo design. Unfortunately, this was difficult to reproduce. With that idea of using the SD card, I thought we could use the SD style logo with the title of the movie incorporated into it. However, the use of the word 1 just would not work out the way I'd planned. So instead, I used 01 instead and had to use the number 1 in the negative space design. By doing this, it means that the number 1 is cut out of the logo, making the color of the background into the number, and the 0 being the main section of the logo. So it was not just the layout of the SD card that was the issue, it was making it look futuristic. To achieve the futuristic design, I added some more details of copper plates. This idea is to make the connection between the computer and the chip. As one of the logo draft was too bright, I had to lower the opacity of the image to make it slightly see-through, thus resulting in my finished logo. One of the biggest issues I had was miscommunication, which in turn resulted in different color schemes to the poster and redirecting the original concept idea for the logo to my own design. Unfortunately, when checked over by the rest of the group members, it was discovered that the design was difficult to read, with them thinking the logo read N1, not 01. This was most likely due to me using the 0 formatted as a digital clock. Due to the difference in the logo and the poster, the logo was not used in the final design.
I will be reflecting on the movie poster designs for the project, going through some of its reasonings behind the concepts and the various challenges I had during its construction. As our topic for the creative project is based on artificial intelligence and the ethical values it may represent in the future, to demonstrate the different viewpoints of the human population, the design has been divided into 2 main parts. These are to make the 2 different viewpoints, and a third poster will be the combination of the 2 posters. We had firstly researched various AI designs and the visual concepts used in movies, games, and fan art. However, as our research topic was about organs on a chip, I did not want the main visual focus to be overly mechanical and unrealistically human. This would have counteracted the main purpose of our project's point to the audience. The main focus of the poster would have to be a figure that would appear mostly realistically human. But by doing this, it symbolizes part of our research, that the medical studies are based on humans and our future scientific medical evolution. For this, a photo shoot was conducted for the image of a human. By using a photograph instead of an illustration, this makes the poster more realistic and would hopefully connect more with any viewers. As a continuation of this, the second poster will depict the ethical viewpoint of a side of humanity that would be against the evolution of AI. In keeping with the AI theme, the poster needed to visually demonstrate the organ on a chip and its basic role and functionality. To achieve this, an image of a human heart with the chip lines was photoshopped into the model's left hand. This placing was done to be next to the place of where a heart is located in a person. Next, tubes were illustrated to connect the heart to the model. In doing this, it is able to symbolize the connection of the heart and its role in the chip. To keep everything consistent with the artificial intelligence theme and to make her look more robotic, illustrations were added to the left side of the model's face and arm. This process of designing and compositioning was quite interesting and painstaking to do. The overall design was not what I had originally thought the final composition would end up as. However, the idea and main focus stayed the same. The difference between the original idea and the ended result was simply subtracting different visual aspects that overcrowded the design. The main color choice of the design ended up being a neon purple. I had chosen this as I did not want to dive into the stereotypical blue used in most AI films and other visual mediums. However, as the chosen color is not too far from blue in the color wheel, it is still considered acceptable and relatable to futuristic designs. Overall, the design I was quite happy with and how it finished as, but if given the opportunity to redo the posters, I would like to broaden my Photoshop skills and pace out the construction of the posters better. Overall, we are happy with how our creative project turned out. Hopefully, we were able to communicate and provide some knowledge about our topic, transhumanism, and the concept of organ on a chip. We hope our presentation has been able to paint a clear visualization of where we predict the evolution of these two aspects are heading.